All right, there we go. I got figured out how to get my mic working again. For some reason, it was connecting to my Bluetooth on my phone. Anyway, got it working again. I have to redo this whole entire video. It's fine. We are discussing the revolving or rotating pin needle towers. Um, so basically, this isn't an original idea. I think I'm gonna have to do the whole intro again. So basically, not an original idea. Basically, I'm trying to make this more ubiquitous, more commonplace in architectural design, more ubiquitous across cities. So instead of just different cities having one of them, or maybe even two of them, make them more commonplace and make them different sizes too. So we can use them for houses or shops. We can also use them bigger versions for like restaurants, penthouses, executive office, and suites. All right, yeah, I'm not doing that whole intro again. Sorry. Basically, just delving right into it so we can get the idea out. So sorry if I'm kind of rushing through this, but I need to leave soon, and the first video was kind of butchered because it wasn't recording any of my audio. So let's go again. Revolving pin needle towers. Making the revolving or rotating pin needle tower more common in modern architecture would fundamentally change urban skylines and the luxury real estate market. The analysis of the revolving tower architecture. The concept is compelling because it provides a dynamic experience that commands a premium price. The revolving motion guarantees 360-degree panoramic views for every patron or resident over a period of time. Exclusivity. It creates a unique selling point unmatched by fixed architecture, perfect for penthouse suites and destination restaurants. The pin needle style. A very tall, slender, and modern structure like Seattle's Space Needle or CN Tower. The status symbol, the height and unique movement make the building instantly iconic and a definitive landmark for a city. Executive offices offers unparalleled status for a company's leadership. Prestige, higher level executives would pay a significant premium for the best view and the symbolism of movement or progress. Suggestions for development. To make this concept more widespread, you would need to address the challenges of engineering and cost while maximizing the building's utility. For engineering and safety, we would need to focus on speed and comfort. The rotation must be slow and smooth to be imperceptible to occupants, typically one full rotation every 60 to 90 minutes. The experience should feel static while the view changes. The revolving section, instead of rotating the entire skyscraper, the more practical and common approach is to only rotate the top few floors that house the luxury features such as offices, restaurant, or penthouse. This massively reduces engineering complexity and energy costs. Maximizing revenue in the fixed base. The expensive revolving section needs to be supported by a highly profitable fixed tower below it. For vertical zoning, the lower 80% of the tower should be maximized for standard high density real estate. For commercial or retail, these would be at ground floor and lower levels, probably as high as level 3 to 5 or 6 tops. And then you go to luxury condos and apartments, and then to the very top, the restaurant, penthouses, and office executive suites. For luxury condos and apartments, these would be the mid levels, which benefit from the building's prestige but don't require the costly rotating mechanism. For the boutique hotel, offer luxury stays that can charge a premium due to the tower's iconic status. For energy and sustainability, you focus on green power. For such a modern, high profile structure, its green footprint is a key selling point. The structure could incorporate vertical wind turbines at non revolving points or integrate solar skin technology into the exterior facade. This helps offset the energy required for the rotation mechanism. Thermal management. The large glass windows needed for the views require smart solutions like dynamic glazing, such as smart glass, to automatically tint and regulate temperature, including HVAC costs, or heating, ventilation, and cooling costs. By focusing on making the revolving section an exclusive, high value amenity supported by a profitable fixed structure below, this architectural style could become a blueprint for next generation urban landmarks. Designing the structure with a large, thick disc at the top is the optimal approach for making this unique architectural style more common and financially viable. This design shifts the tower's function. The shaft becomes a strong, efficient core, and the disc becomes the high-value rotating spectacle, a floating luxury destination. Maximizing the rotating disc. By concentrating the rotation feature into a single large disk structure, you maximize the return on the complex engineering required. Revenue segmentation within the disk. The disk shape is ideal for creating distinct, highly priced venues that never compete for the view. Venues include signature restaurant. The design for this would be the outermost ring of the disk, offering the largest windows and the continuous 360-degree view. For the highest revenue, charge a premium for seating and reservations based on the view cycle. For example, higher price during sunset rotation or sunrise. Maybe even have like skylights, so when it rotates, you can see through the top and see the stars. That'd be cool. And then also maybe transplant floors on the bottom floor of the disc, so you can look down onto the city too. Be kind of like we're at the Willis Tower. You can step out onto the ledge and see below. Like this would be similar, but further out, extends further out, and rotates too. So it'd be even cooler. For executive offices, the design for this would be where the inner ring of the disc is closer to the central core. It would be a prestige rental. We could lease these spaces to a single corporate anchor tenant, for example, Infinity Core, for maximizing prestige and exclusivity. I'd most likely use a different corporation. I probably wouldn't be leasing it out to myself. I mean, some of my offices, I guess there's no reason why I can't have some of my businesses have these offices, but most likely the most profitable way to utilize these would be to rent them out, lease them out to others. For penthouse suites, the design for this would be to strategically place them in corner or quadrant sections of the disc. Suites are larger and occupy the entire width from the inner core to the outer ring. And this is also, so this is considering if the inner core is the executive suites, outer rings, the restaurant. So this is basically segmenting the place if it is inclusive of the restaurant, penthouse suites, and the corporate offices all in one. We could have other designs where it has only one of them, like only a restaurant, only an executive office, only a penthouse suite, or we could have one that's executive office and restaurant, penthouse suite, and restaurant, etc. Or we could have one that's all the above, like what's mentioned here. So I figured it'd just be easier to combine them all together. So if there was a design that combined them all, we can combine them all, but we could also make it more singular use. We can make it multi-use or single use too. So we can find different uses for that. The penthouse says the ring for extreme luxury. Sell these penthouse suites as the ultimate residential status symbol, capitalizing on the unique selling point of a perpetually changing view. The central core and maintenance. The central non-rotating shaft becomes critical infrastructure, not just a way to hold up the disc. Dedicated service elevators. We should run separate high-speed elevators solely for the disc level. This prevents delays and ensures privacy for executives and residents while maximizing throughput for restaurant patrons. Utility bypass. Run all power, plumbing, and data lines through the central shaft using a highly durable and redundant system of slip rings and fluid couplers at the point where the static shaft meets the rotating disc. Creating a year-round icon. To ensure the disc draws visitors even when the weather is bad or the economy is slow, focus on creating events. Observation deck or the static ring. I'm not sure about the observation deck being static. I want that to move too. But anyway, place a static, non-rotating observation deck. I want it to rotate. It should rotate. Disc, rotate. All right. Sorry, I'm just adding a note so I don't forget. So that should rotate as well. So observation deck should rotate as well. All right, this offers a different price point for tourists and provides a stable area for the revolving discs mechanics to be safely housed and accessed for maintenance. I think just place that like a level below. Branding and lights. Use the disc itself as a global statement. During non-peak hours, the outside of the disc could be used for dynamic LED light shows or branded projections, making the entire structure an active lit landmark visible for miles. Yeah, so basically you could have lasers or lights at the bottom pointing up to the bottom of the disc and show lights from there, or we could have LED panels directly placed on the bottom and even the top or around the either if it's a disc or even if it's a ball, something, create panels or somehow project the lights onto the surface or from the surface to create light shows and different digital displays and pictures and art and movies and all kinds of cool light effects or just different patterns. I keep losing my place. Light shows could be visible for miles by optimizing the design to concentrate the cost. By optimizing the design to concentrate the costly movement in the most profitable, desirable real estate, a thick disk, this concept transforms into a scalable model for next generation urban architecture. The price premium model, in addition to the revolving mechanism to a luxury residential or office unit. Hold on, what? The addition of the revolving mechanism to a luxury residential or office unit dramatically increases its value due to unmatched scarcity, prestige, and experience. A rotating penthouse or executive office in an iconic disc tower could command a 40% to 100% premium over a comparable fixed luxury unit in the same city. The significant increase in value comes from translating the unique features into quantifiable market advantages. Value drivers for standard luxury units in the revolving disc. It would include view scarcity. There would be either a fixed view, for example, facing the harbor or the mountains. That would be like a traditional old version of like a just regular building. This would include a perpetually changing 360-degree view. Every hour, tenants or visitors would see a new cityscape, sunrise or sunset. The estimated premium here could go for 40% to 60%. A exclusivity and status, a high-end address and brand. It is iconic global landmark status. For example, the rotating tower penthouse. It's a defining feature of the city's skyline, and the estimated premium here could be a 25% to 40% increase in price. For marketing and utility, tenants and visitors would have, especially tenants, would have standard bragging rights. This would serve as the ultimate entertainment space, ideal for hosting high-profile parties, corporate events, and client meetings, while the venue itself is the attraction. The estimated premium here would be 10 to 20%. The total estimated premium would be 40 to 100%. For the executive office premium, leasing executive offices for leasing. So executive office premium for leasing the executive offices within the rotating disc. The value is tied to corporate status and client perception. The leasing premium, a high-level executive suite in the rotating section could easily fetch a 50% to 80% higher rental rate per square foot compared to a fixed Class A skyscraper office in the same downtown area. The target tenant or target demographic, so focusing on them, this premium is justified because the tenant is buying more than space. They are buying an unparalleled branding opportunity. A successful company would pay this premium to signal absolute supremacy and global outlook to partners and competitors. Penthouse suite valuation. For residential sales, the premium for a rotating unit is often the highest. The fixed cost base. If a non-rotating luxury penthouse in the city sells for $10 million, the equivalent rotating penthouse could realistically list for $14 million to $20 million. So we could be up to double in our selling price. So we could almost double our selling price by simply adding the rotating mechanism. I know it's not simply, but it shouldn't be, the cost of implementing it wouldn't be double the cost of the building, it would basically just lead to double the selling price. Scarcity factor, or at least hopefully the cost wouldn't be that much. We'd have to analyze how much the cost would be in total for employees, materials, engineering, expertise, so on. So that would definitely need to be taken into consideration. But the selling point, that is it's a selling point for the idea alone, just from the price point that we can sell these spaces for, or lease them for. Continuing on the penthouse suite about valuation, the scarcity factor would be another benefit of those suites. In a market of similar fixed luxury condos, the rotating penthouse is a monopoly product. Okay. The number of people willing to pay 14 million who want that specific dynamic view is much higher than the number of units available. This limited supply drives the exponential premium. The key to achieving this maximum valuation is ensuring the engineering is flawless, silent, and visually impressive from the outside, reinforcing the image of seamless, modern luxury. All right. Oh crap, I did all that over again. It's good. Nailed it, crushed it. Yeah, the first take was probably better because I was more like invested in it. I was like seeing it for the first time, or like not for the first time, just rereading it. Like it felt like doing this over again is more robotic. But like the first time was like, it was good, but we got through it. We got the point across, and it's pretty much the same gist. So basically take these revolving pin needle towers and make them more commonplace. So that's what we're trying to do, and create different designs of them too. So we could have, especially the top design, we could have a cube, we could have a disc, we could have a sphere, we could have a pyramid, right side up, upside down, whatever. We could have a dodecahedron, I don't know, whatever you want to throw in there, but just make the revolving part of it and the bit where it's like on a pin needle tower more common, or just make revolving stuff more common. Like it could literally be a cylindrical block, and you have the bottom floor stationary, and then these floors move. Like for floor 1 goes counterclockwise, floor 2 goes clockwise, floor 3 goes counterclockwise, floor 4 goes clockwise, and then just keeps on alternating from there. And it basically makes the whole building look like it's alive. That would be really, 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 really cool. All right, that wraps up this idea for today. Revolving pin needle towers. Let's make them more commonplace. Let's do that. I really want to know what my first draft sounded like. I feel like I kind of had some side notes. I added my extra side notes that I could remember on this one too. So I tried to remember everything from the first draft. I just go off on like different tangents and stuff like that. I just kind of go off talking about stuff and ranting, or like I'll just go on like a side quest talking about something. But yeah, I think I got it covered. I think for the most part, we covered everything in the first draft. Hopefully my mic works. Hopefully I didn't record all this and nothing's recording. I think I'm good. I did a practice recording before, so. And if it doesn't work, I'll just go ahead and leave it, and you guys can read my lips. All right, I gotta get ready. So, all right, that's awesome. We did that. Cool. Nailed it.